Art Studio. So in learning to draw, once we've learned to draw edges well, the next thing we need to do is learn how to draw negative space. So to draw a pure negative space drawing means that we're not going to actually draw anything that we see within this mug. We're going to draw around the mug and the space that we might see through something like this handle. I'll show you an example of a negative space drawing so you can see what I mean. So here's an example of a negative space drawing. I could start with an edge drawing, and I'm going to draw that captured space. So I'm going to draw that the way that I see it the best I can. Alrighty. And then the next thing I can see, it's almost like a silhouette, but not quite, but I can see the outside edge of this. I'm going to come up here, it kind of comes up, it curves around, a little bit of an angle there, and then it curves around a little bit there. So that is a pure negative space drawing. I haven't drawn, even though I can see this edge inside of here, and I can see the little edges where this handle meets, I'm not going to draw that. And you know that when you've done a negative space drawing correctly, if you look at it as a cookie cutter, if I cut that out, it will not fall apart. So if you draw these lines in, that is now a positive shape drawing and not a negative space. Some people find it easier to start their drawing by drawing those negative spaces by shading them like this. And that gives them the idea of that I'm actually drawing the ground, the stuff or the space around this thing. So this is what I'm looking at, this space around that mug while I'm drawing. Another way you can start this drawing is use one of these plexiglass pieces that I told you about in the drawing video on drawing edges. And you can look through this plexiglass, shut one eye, and just draw the captured space that you see through the handle of the mug. All right. So there I have that little handle drawn in there, and then I can put this plexiglass up like this, and you could be working flat, that's okay. I just happen to be this way to show you guys what's happening. Alrighty, so what I did is I have another piece of paper where I've drawn these lines exactly the same size. Just a reminder too, whenever you're drawing something from real life and putting it on paper, you need to shut one eye to draw and not to move your head. Keep it in the same place, because the minute you move your head, you have a different view. And also if you shut one eye and change the eye that you've shut, you've also changed your view. So I'm looking at this little captured space here, and I'm going to place it on my paper over here. And I'm looking just at this rectangle, and just to the left of half is where this little line starts, and then this is about 1/3 the way over, little line there. Then I see this little triangular shape here and this angle, so I'll draw that in, and this little angle thing that comes up. And it's easier to draw curves with angle or straight lines and go away around. So now you have this shape here that basically gives you a measuring device for doing the rest of your mug. So I can go and finish drawing my mug from that. So I can go back to looking at my real view and draw in this common edge. Now this is a common edge between the space and the object itself. So that is going to happen, but it's not the same as a silhouette. This is a fairly simple shape, so you know, it's doesn't have a lot of different captured spaces. So there I have my mug. That's pure negative space. I did not draw any of the edges that I saw within that space. For instance, if I had drawn in this little bit here or this little bit, that would have become a positive shape form. So anyway, so there you go. Give it a try. The other thing that happens when you start with that plexiglass and you look through the viewfinder and you create your shape and then you put this captured space down is it's going to ensure that your image is going to fit on your paper. So what happens quite often is when we're drawing, it ends up growing outside of our format. So this is just a little measuring device to help us to stay within our piece of paper. Another great shape to draw for negative space is a set of scissors, because you've got two sets of negative captured spaces. So I'm going to start with one set of one of those captured spaces and give it draw it the best I can. So again, I'm visualizing that stuff that's in the middle. And from that captured space, I can then start to draw the edges that I see. Now I have one eye shut and I'm trying to match my eye movement to my hand movement. And a little more information on that can be found on the blind contour video that I have on my playlist. So I'm not worrying about, angles and all that kind of stuff. I'm just practicing, seeing if I can see just those negative spaces. So I got stuck there, come over here. Whenever I come to something where I see an edge like this, I stop. I pretend that I'm like this laser machine, and I can only draw non-intersecting lines. So here we've got this shape here, comes out, comes down, goes like this. And I have this other captured space inside of here. So again, I could cut this out with a pair of scissors, and it wouldn't fall apart. So again, I was visualizing the space around these scissors and ignoring all the edges that I saw inside those scissors. Okay, hope that makes sense. I didn't draw anything inside of here. Anyway, they have this kind of pleasing quality to them, these drawings, and they can be a lot of fun. So give those scissors a try. Some of us will glom onto negative space drawing quite quickly, and some of us will struggle a little longer to get the idea of it. But either way, don't give up on it, and do give it a try. It's so visual, and what happens is when you're doing negative space drawing, you lose all track of time. So it's very, very relaxing, and it also helps improve your artistic skills. And for non-artists, it creates creative problem-solving skills as well. So give it a try. I hope you enjoy it. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for future notice of videos. Take care. Bye.